really interesting. He's was sponsored for a membership in a fellows organization composed of about 500 people, 300 from the United States. Very few political appointees. Most of these are presidents and vice presidents of big companies. And they literally do things worldwide. This trip composed of 30 members of the team. It's kind of an indoctrination team for the 30 newest members. And they are visiting China. The mayor has spent the last 2 days, portions of 3 days, in Shanghai. He is leaving there today, or has left. I get confused on the time difference because it's like a day and a half. Leaving today for Beijing, go from Beijing to someplace else in mainland China and then to Hong Kong, and have to stay there. While there, they go through the network that he is establishing over there is going to be fantastic for the Meridian area in the way of having industries or companies come here. It's just fantastic, and it's costing the city absolutely nothing. I'm absolutely, totally, as a chief administrative officer and as a citizen of Meridian, in favor of it. Absolutely and totally in favor. And as you know, I live very close to the school. In fact, it's wrapped all around me. I think it's something we need. I think it's not all that we need, but it is certainly an absolutely fantastic start for what we need. I was at the forum last night. There were some good points brought out on there that maybe it's not as extensive enough, and there were some good responses to that. In order to build a brand new school, we're talking in excess of $50 million, I think, and that's just beyond the borrowing capability of our school system to be able to float a bond for that. I think that when you take a look at the talent of the people that the system put together, when I say the system, I'm talking about more than just the school district themselves, but this entire community put together a collection of people that worked hundreds and hundreds of hours visiting many different communities, taking a look at how we can build our program here to bring our school system up to the position that we need it to. Hundreds of people doing that from all walks of life. Teachers, non-teachers, business people, clergy, college professors. I mean, you name it, it was a collection of people that absolutely had the pulse of this community. And they were put together to design a bond issue that would help us do in Meridian what needs to be done, and that's bring up the educational capabilities of our students. After hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours, with all these experts putting it together, I think they did a fantastic job. And woe be upon me who would spend a day or two trying to figure out what was left out and what should have been done and wasn't done and all that, because I know there were a lot of deliberations behind the scenes. I've been involved in situations like that. I think they put together a fantastic plan in there. I think we ought to pass it. Yeah, I'd like for the boss to answer that himself because he's really, really good at it. But I think he's doing a fantastic job of getting it back to where it was. The Riley Center is a good start. If you take a look at the communications that are flowing between City Hall and our congressional delegation in Washington and the different teams, HRI, which is putting together the 3-foot project, as well as some other projects in the state. You take a look at what we're trying to do legislative-wise, both at a national level and at a state level, to make things be able to be done here in the Meridian area and the east central Mississippi area. Then you begin to understand all the work that has to go in initially just to set up the framework that will allow us to do the things that you're talking about. 13 years ago, we started out on this vision that the mayor had for the city of Meridian. You're seeing it come to life right now. You're seeing it in mortar, you're seeing it in the Riley Foundation, you're seeing it in the condominiums, you're seeing it in the businesses coming up, you're seeing it in the demolition by neglect on some of the older buildings. You're seeing it on the demolition of some of the buildings already to create the green space that we need in the downtown area. You're seeing it in the belief of the people that it can and will happen, and is happening here. And when you have a downtown that is built after the vision of its elected leaders, they will come. I mean, the people will come. Manufacturing jobs are very difficult to capture here. We've got a East Mississippi Business Development Corporation that is, I think, second to none in talent-wise and expertise. And if there are jobs out there, I have a great deal of confidence that those people in those offices can, in fact, bring them here. It's just that they are so far and few between. So what are we doing? We're taking a look at a lot of the businesses, the industries that we already have, and we are expanding them. We're creating new technology based upon things we have right here in our area. The EMBDC is doing, I think, a commendable job in doing that. The city, in building a new downtown, is doing the best it can. I think you're going to see some things financially come about in the near future that's going to more equally share the tax burden amongst all residents of East Central Mississippi, instead of having it so overloaded on one select group of that community. I think those things are starting to come into play now as the citizens become more and more educated into how the cash flows, quite frankly, in East Central Mississippi.